What's going on, guys? This is your boy Random Guy Kev, and this is Thoughts of a Random Guy. We talk about many things dealing with love, dating, related relationships, adulting, life's ups and downs, and the ever-evolving world of just being a human. Don't forget to check me out on all your favorite social media platforms at Random Guy Kev and my website at randomguykev.com. Today's topic is inviting a previous partner to your wedding. And my co-host for this episode is
This is Tom. You can find me on Instagram, TOMM.S55. How you doing, Kev?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Good, good. I'm excited to be on here. Appreciate you for having me on.
Of course, of course. And as somebody that is married,
Yes.
I feel like this topic would be interesting for you. I bring this up because it's always a buzz on social media when it comes to you being in a new relationship and people still being best friends with their significant other. For
Yes.
for me personally, I somebody else that has physically been around my significant other and know the parts that I should only know, I feel some type of way. I genuinely will feel jealous because why is this person still your best friend? Why are they still in your life? I mean, granted, yeah, I mean they know certain things about you and you guys ended on mutual terms and you still want to be friends, but they should not be this close for you to be inviting them to your wedding or to functions where I'm going to be there personally. I don't I feel weird about that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Kev, I think I'm gonna oppose you on this one because I actually am someone that still has a couple of very good friends that I've dated in the past that I still keep in my life. That if I was to have a formal wedding eventually, I would invite them. Um,
Have you had relations with them?
yes, I have. Yeah, so these are people that we've definitely dated, had relationships. But you know, I think I think you should be able to, as an adult, grow past that and just be friends if your intent is pure. Does that make sense?
I hear you 100%,
Uh huh.
but at the same time, the way social media works and the way the world works, people, you know, I've seen stories of people like, oh, the wedding night is about to happen, and it's just like, yo, let's kick it one more time. And
See,
sometimes
that's
people sometimes succumb to that. And it's like, what if your partner knows that you have those, you know, you have those best friends that you have relationships with, and you're inviting them to the wedding, and they say, hey, I don't want you to invite that person. What's your next move? What do you do from there?
I think it's all about boundaries, man. You know, if you respect your partner, but you still want to have this friendship, there has to be boundaries. Meaning, no, I am not gonna go hang out with her anytime around my wedding time. you know, um, if this moment is about my fiance or wife, then that's what that has to be. You know what I mean? If two people are gonna move past their relationship but still be friends, then I think you have to have mature boundaries.
Yeah.
Um, now, to flip it around, if my wife was to have a best friend, a male best friend like that, I'm with you. Like I think it's an uncomfortable thing to kind of deal with, right?
Yeah.
Um, and at that point, I think you have to trust her enough and move past your insecurities to establish that kind of trust with her. If you cannot trust her with her best friend, then is the trust really that deep? That's my question to you.
Mm, that's a real good one because I think it again. I think it depends on the friendship. Yeah, you may have that best friend, but do they see each other all the time? Do they communicate with each other all the time? What's the frequency of their friendship? Because we
Correct.
all have those friendships that, Yo, like I talk to my best friend all the time, every day. Like I'll send a meme, I'll send a text. Is are are they on that same level of friendship? And if they are, I mean, I would kind of feel some type of way, like only because it's like it's not really an insecurity thing. It's just like that person has touched you before. Now I'm
Yes.
touching you. I, I don't want them to even have that type of access to you.
Like how wild would it be if one day this person's is trying to talk to you about that?
Yo,
Yeah.
it's like it's I don't it's like a it's two if you look at it two different ways. It's hard. Yes, you want to be the mature person about it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, this person has touched your person, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, like I feel some kind of way because y'all still talk every day.
So again, I think the boundary
Mm-hmm.
has to be set, right? Meaning it's okay to be best friends, but do you really have to be talking every day? You
Yeah.
know, do you have to if that person it their actions are specifically they're like if they still like your wife, right? If they still have feelings,
If they
and
still have feelings.
if that's the vibe you get, then that communication has to be said,
Yeah.
right? And if your wife is on that kind of like, hey, well, I'm not gonna give up my friendship for your comfort, then I think that's the problem, right? But the general topic of just having that best friend around your significant other, it's got to be one of those things where both of you have to have the strength to communicate, set the boundaries, and show respect. I think that's so important for that to work out. I personally, for my own example,
Hmm.
um, I don't talk to her every day. I talk to her maybe once or twice a month. We'll have a good long conversation. We'll catch up. I know she has her guy. She knows I'm married, and we respect each other, and we actually help each other out whenever we can. So it's as long as the boundary and respect is there, that's great. If she was ever to one day disrespect my wife in any way, well, you bet I will have to take my wife's side and check her, right?
Yeah.
So that I think that's an effort that has to be made for this to work out.
Hmm. So, like, it's not just about the whole phone call. What if you guys were always linking up on a regular? Like you had like a
Ooh.
weekly Friday, Thursday after work drink thing, and your wife felt some type of way about that. Why can't I come? Like, why is it just you two all the time?
See, I do think that's an issue that has to be addressed. Meaning, I don't think you should be just drinking with her every so often just by yourself, right? I don't think you
There should
should.
be a group of y'all.
Yeah, yeah. I think your wife should have a relationship with her because it's at the end of the day that's important, right? Again, this is a communication thing, right? If you can't establish that kind of communication, then maybe you shouldn't have a a best friend that's coming to your wedding, you know. And same thing, vice versa. If she won't respect you and just respect your feelings and even insecurities, then maybe that cannot happen because one of you guys are not mature enough to have this. What do you think?
I mean, again, for me, it's like, all right, right. I get into a relationship with you. You tell me about, hey, I'm still friends with people I used to date or deal with. Okay, cool. Like, how often are they in your life? Oh, this one's in my life all the time. I constantly talk to them every day. This one is not. What's the reasoning for you talking to them all the time? Because, they make me feel comfortable and this, that, and third. Okay, when we get into our relationship, is that dynamic going to change, or are you going to calm down with texting them or calling them and hanging out with them every week because now you have somebody that wants you now. um, like you said, it's all about communication and having that talk with that person.
Mhm.
And if you don't establish that immediately and you just let it keep going, then it's kind of like, all right, they think it's okay to do. That's why, like, I believe in the, I think in the beginning of the relationship, if someone tells you, like, I'm still best friends with a significant other, or I still have that person around and hang out with them occasionally, I mean, like you said, set boundaries. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, like, we've been together now we're going on being together 2-3 years, and this person's still around. It's cool. I've met them. We've had drinks and stuff together. I still kind of feel weird about them, and you being, in the same space as them. Just let me, I think it comes right back down to communication. Hey, babe, I'm going out with XYZ, 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 XYZ. Okay, you're going out in a group of friends and that person is there. Okay, I'm cool. I trust
Yeah.
you. I feel like as long as that's communicated and it's not anything made secret, where it's like I'm going out and you don't tell me who you're going out with.
Exactly.
It's not like I'm trying to police you as your significant other, or I'm sorry, I'm not trying to police you as a parent. No, as your significant other, I think it's just common to just over communicate with your partner. Hey, I'm going down the street to go grab groceries with so and so. Like,
It's a
and if
form of respect.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it like you said, it does come back down to respect and having that conversation. Is it okay to invite that person? I mean, again, that's a discussion you two have together and where you're at in your relationship with that person. Um, and I know a couple people who, they did invite that other person because their significant other felt weird about it. It
Mhm.
was like, you were dating this person for 5-6 years, and now you guys are best friends, and now we're getting married, and you want to invite them to the wedding. Like, you don't think they'll feel some type of way because before me and you were dating, they were still trying to get back with you.
So I think if I was put in this situation, one thing I would have to think about is why is my significant other feeling a type of way about that? Right? Like why exactly? Is it me the way I present myself and it creates insecurity for her? Or is it her just that's just not something she's gonna be okay with? Disregard your relationship with your best friend, right? Is it something that I could address, right? Because to me, this might be a sign indication of something much deeper than just this topic. Am I presenting myself in a way where she won't even trust me with a friend, my best friend, right? Am I doing something like if I was to go out with the boys and I was to say, hey, let's say we're going to a strip club, right? Is that any different? Right? Is that I think it falls within the same line of trust that again,
I mean, but you didn't fuck any of the strippers.
well, how does she know that?
Oh
Right?
yeah, you're right. How does she know that?
How does she
So
know?
it's, I mean, it could be, like I mean, like you said, it really comes back down to communication.
For sure.
Definitely
I
comes back to communication and what you allow in the relationship. Um,
I think communication comes in two forms. It's
mhm,
one being presentation, but two being feeling,
mhm.
right? Like
You reaffirm them that yo, you're
absolutely,
you're my person. You're my fucking
absolutely.
person. Point blank. Period. That's it. Like nobody.
If
I can't see anybody else
yep,
besides you.
if the feeling is right, even if you only told her, "Hey, I'm gonna go out," but she feels you accomplish the feeling part, that might be enough. She might just be like, okay, well, have fun, right? So, in my opinion, like this is a long term game that you have to establish and have that trust with your partner. So, a topic like this isn't what's in front of it, right? It should be a supporting factor to it.
No, and I agree with you. It's like, all right, it's not just the whole the wedding piece. Like, say if it's your birthday, I mean, that has some value, just like a wedding does.
Right.
You invite a couple people you used to deal with
Yeah.
to your birthday, and your significant others there. Like, what's the vibe? What's the energy? Like, they does she know? Does he know? And I feel like, don't hide anything when it comes to your
Yeah.
relation. Don't hide shit. When you used to deal with somebody, say straight up like, "Yo, babe, I used to deal with that person there. Yeah, I did something with that person." Like, tell them straight up. Don't let them find out on their own.
For sure. For
It's
sure.
worse. It's worse on you,
And
especially if you invite them to a wedding and you didn't tell your significant other who that person is.
yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Whether it's your significant other or it's you, right? If the best friends there, like they are the ops, right? So
Yeah.
like that's
Word.
naturally that's how it's gonna be, right? So um, I think a key thing is to make sure that the friend is also doing their part, right? Like, are they acting like the ops, or are they being respectful, right? Because that's a thing that I see a lot is, um, I have friends that have wives, and then they'll bring like some of like our old like homegirls around, and for them, some of the single ones, they're still, when they're drunk, they're still kind of touchy. They're talking about a lot of things from the past, and it just, they don't realize that you're putting someone in a very uncomfortable position just by being there, right? So again, you have to be ready to check one of them, and most of the time, I think you do have to check your friend, whether whether or not you agree or not. I think it's for the comfort and communication of your significant
And you never want to hurt whoever you're dealing with at the end of the day. That's what we always think, like, oh, damn, let me make sure, you know, whatever I'm doing here doesn't affect them later on. And you never want that. So like you said, some things that you could do, again, communicate. I mean, pay attention to your surroundings, the people in
right?
your surroundings.
Yeah,
Um,
like your spider senses has to be like on point during that kind of interaction, right?
word. Yeah, nah. You're 100% right. And I don't think people keep their head on a swivel when situations like this arise. And I tell people around me, like, don't put yourself in a situation that can get you in trouble. Be mindful of who you surround yourself with, because some people are there to mess you up,
Yeah,
catch you misstepping, and people love chaos for some reason. And it's like, they say they want to see you happy, but sometimes they really don't.
that's a fact.
They just want to see shit crumble around you, and that's why you keep your friend circle small. Even if your friend circle small, sometimes those people, you got certain you have different friend circles for different things.
Yep. Do
Because
you
not
think?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Do you think that um, having a best friend that you've had a relationship with, do you think it's okay to have that, but also um, not include your significant other within that relationship, though?
Hmm. I mean, I'm an honest person. If I have if I have a best friend that I've dealt with, and I'm in a relationship with somebody, they're gonna know that person,
For sure.
the ins and outs of that person, just as much as I do, because I want them to have a great relationship. This is my
Whether,
this is my person. Even though
yeah,
we've done whatever we've done, this is my person at the end of the day. This is my other person at the end of the
yeah,
day, because and I tell my friends this, like, 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, if your relationship doesn't work out, your friends will be there no matter what. And like
Yeah.
a lot of my day ones, these are people I grew up with in the church. I haven't had any relations or anything with them, but it's, at the same time, women have gotten jealous of the women in that group, and I'm like, no, I've never done anything with them. They're just my friend. They're like my little sisters.
Hmm.
So it's like, or if you get jealous of them, that's a you problem, not a me problem, personally. Um, but I always try to reaffirm my person, like, yo, these are my people. You got to get to know them. You'll understand like why we vibe, why we click. These are my people, and I want you to know them. They'll be your people as well.
And if, let's say, your significant other still has an issue, even though you try to communicate that with them, then to you, it is their problem that they have to figure out, right?
Correct. I think it's something they have to figure out, um, and adjust from that. Like, yes, they can tell me what the problem is, but at the same time, it's like one of those things where I'm sorry, like I haven't. It's not like I've done anything with these people. These people
Right.
are lifelong friends. They're family essentially, and for you to feel uncomfortable with them, that's again a you problem. And I have a friend that recently he was with somebody who she never came around. She
Mm.
never came around like the day one crew because she was jealous of the girls in the group, and she never came around. It was like, bro, like, yo, come out, come hang out.
Yeah.
In the time that I've known her, never came out. It's like, bro, like, and then come to find out she ain't really like them. It's like, bro, like, okay, that's fine. Like, be the real you then. You don't like, everybody's trying to get to know you more, but you choose to stay inside because you're jealous of people that you don't even know.
And that's something she has to figure out. Like, that's something where it's like, well, why are you choosing to do that? You know, because you're at this point, she's impacting his life, his friendships. You know, it's a friendships are a sign of the quality of someone's life, right? And if you love someone, why would you be in the way of that, right? Over your own insecurities, you know. So I do think, because we're kind of attaching like friends that you've had relationships or sexual relationships with onto this, it's a very similar situation to me. It shouldn't be too much different unless you two are still both too immature to move on from the sexual part of it as well.
Yeah. Um, and as you get older, you kind of just as you get older, you learn more about yourself and about the people around you and what you will accept in your life and what you won't accept.
Yeah, that's true.
And like the whole back to the topic as far as inviting a previous partner. I mean, if you guys just dated, wasn't anything sexual, and you guys are just friends, I don't see too much of an issue. You guys like had relations. I don't know. I'm borderline on that.
Right.
I have to get to know the person. I have to be around them something because it's a weird spot. Like, yeah, like I'm not the only person that had a relationship with you in this room. That kind of sits in your gut. Like, damn. Like,
I'll tell you this though. If that dude is better looking than me, if I hear anything about how he's bigger than I am, you know, that will be in my head. I
yeah,
can't lie.
that plays into it. But
Yeah.
as we come to a close, thank you, Tom, for coming on this episode. Where can people find you again?
Instagram. My Instagram is TOMM.S55. And I'll also be on YouTube soon. I'll have a YouTube channel called The Uncut Gems. So find me on YouTube.
Awesome. But that's it for this episode. You guys can find me on all social media platforms at Random Guy Kev and my website at randomguykev.com. Don't forget to check in, and I will catch you guys on the next one.